Hello, ladies. If you're like me and you are struggling with menopause symptoms, especially weight gain or difficulty losing weight, and you're curious about the newer GLP-1 medications for weight loss, then stick with me here because today I'm going to share my firsthand experience of starting GLP-1 in menopause. I'll be sharing what led me to try GLP-1, which GLP-1 medication I chose and why, the cost of the medication, and what happened after my first injection. I'll also be sharing my starting stats and what I'll be tracking over the course of my journey. So let's get started. First of all, my name is Dr. Julie Kruger. I'm a licensed physical therapist and a certified health coach. Yep, you heard that right. Even with everything I know about health, fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle modifications, I have still struggled with weight gain in perimenopause and menopause, and I have struggled to lose that weight. So, for some context, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I just turned 54 years old, and I have been in menopause now for a little over 2 years. I am by no means a menopause expert, but I want to share a little bit about my experience and what led me to try GLP-1. Over the past 5 years, I've tried to lose weight many times, and despite my best efforts, I've had difficulty losing more than just a few pounds, even after several months of hard work. There were a few times I even gained weight while trying to lose weight, which was always super frustrating. Over the past 5 years, I've worked with my naturopath to correct a mildly low functioning thyroid, but otherwise, I'm really pretty healthy, which I'm super grateful for. But I do have a family history of high blood pressure, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes, with which each annual checkup over the past couple of years, I've been a little worried whether this year will be the year that my blood work shows something that I don't want it to show. So I just had my annual blood work done again last week, and I'll have the results back soon, and I'll be sure to share that with you. So we'll see where I'm at. I'm also on HRT, or hormone replacement therapy. I use a compounded bioidentical cream, which has been super helpful in managing some of the other menopause symptoms I've experienced, like being moody and hot flashes, night sweats. And ladies, I had some crazy night sweats. Just as an aside, as I was going through the perimenopause transition, I took a continuing education course about menopause, and I was shocked at how long the list of symptoms was that could be related to menopause. These were symptoms I was having, symptoms so many of my patients were having. And I was in a state of disbelief that I didn't know about these things as a healthcare provider, but even more importantly, how I didn't know about these things as a woman. Oh my gosh, I have so much I want to share with you about what I have learned about menopause. And I could rant on about this right now, but I don't want to get too far off topic here. I'll have to plan to do a separate video for that rant, I guess. So stay tuned. Okay, so the crazy night sweats and the other symptoms I was having have been pretty well managed with HRT, but I still haven't managed to get back to a healthy weight. Now, anyone who knows me knows I do not like to take medications. I prefer natural methods, improving my nutrition, exercise, and changing lifestyle habits. But those things alone have not been getting me and my health where I want and need it to be. And I'm afraid if I don't get this figured out, my health will be at risk, and I do not want to keep going down that road. So I've been hearing about these GLP-1 medications for over a year now, and I always try to learn about any new weight loss options that come out because I know my patients are going to ask me about them at some point. And I feel it's important to be able to give them an educated answer to hopefully guide them in a safe and healthy direction. So before I share which medication I chose and why, I want to talk about some of the risks and complications that anyone considering GLP-1 needs to be aware of. Now, keep in mind, I am not a medical doctor or a naturopathic doctor. I am a doctor of physical therapy. I cannot prescribe these medications. I cannot tell you if GLP-1 is right for you. There are some people that should not take these medications. So that is between you and your doctor. But I hope by sharing my experience, it will help you be better informed and make the best possible decision for yourself. As some of you may already know, early on there were a lot of reports about some serious complications with these GLP-1 medications, including things like gastroparesis, pancreatitis, and even gallbladder dysfunction. So that's not good, right? Well, the reality is that regardless of the weight loss program you might choose, losing weight too quickly is very hard on your body and your organs, which can lead to these kinds of problems. So while there still may be risks, the risks are much lower with GLP-1 when the medication is titrated up slowly and closely monitored, so adjustments can be made as needed to make sure you're not losing too much weight too quickly. My naturopath started me at a very low dose, much lower than what I've seen elsewhere, and we have a plan to increase the dose slowly while monitoring for any side effects, with the goal of losing just 1 to 2 pounds per week. So if I don't lose at least 1 pound in any given week, the dose will go up slightly. And if I lose more than 2 pounds in a week, then the dose will go back down slightly. Now, I'm sure you've also heard reports and maybe even seen pictures of women showing their saggy skin after losing weight with GLP-1. Again, this is not a problem that is unique to just the GLP-1 medications. Losing weight too quickly with any weight loss program increases the risk of saggy skin because the body doesn't have enough time to adapt. And for some that need to lose a lot of weight, even if they lose at a healthy rate of 1 to 2 pounds per week, they may still have some saggy skin in the end, but it will be much less if they go slow and give their body a chance to adapt. Now, there are some other things you can do to help minimize the risk of saggy skin that I'll go deeper into in another video for you. But for now, the main point I want to convey is that losing weight too quickly, regardless of how you lose that weight, is where most of these problems are going to stem from. These GLP-1 medications do have some side effects that are a little more common, including things like mild nausea, vomiting, headaches, heartburn, constipation, and diarrhea. Thankfully, most of these side effects can be easily managed by simply drinking more water or by working with your doctor to get additional support or maybe some other recommendations if needed. So hopefully all of this helps you understand that the majority of the more serious complications and most of the more common side effects can be minimized by following a well thought out plan with a doctor that you trust. What a lot of people don't know, that I also didn't know until I met with my naturopath, is that these GLP-1 medications have been shown to help with several other health conditions besides just obesity, prediabetes, and diabetes. There are studies that show they can help reduce cardiovascular disease, chronic fatigue, depression, chronic pain. They can help with gut issues, autoimmune diseases, PCOS, kidney disease, fatty liver, skin problems, addiction, and other age-related conditions like osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, and even arthritis. That is a huge list, and all this makes sense to me since a lot of the conditions I just listed often go hand in hand with obesity. So it's great to see some research is being done in these other areas to better understand how we might be able to help more people enjoy better health. Okay, real quick before I talk about which GLP-1 medication I chose, I want to address one more concern that a lot of women have, not just with GLP-1, but really with any weight loss program, which is, will I gain the weight back? Or even worse, will I gain back more weight than I lost? Honestly, there are so many variables here that this one could take some time to really unpack it all, which I won't do right now, but I will say that maintaining weight loss and your health long term will require more than just eating less and exercising more for a few months. It's about more than just weight loss. It's about changing your body composition. We cannot just focus on weight loss or the number on the scale. We need to focus on fat loss and maintaining as much of our lean muscle as possible, which leads to a stronger and healthier metabolism. So GLP-1 medications can help, but it will also require modifying your diet and prioritizing protein, establishing a regular exercise program that prioritizes strengthening, proper hydration, managing stress, getting enough sleep. Women in perimenopause and menopause, you may need to work on balancing your hormones. If you have any other health conditions, it's also important to have your doctor monitor those things throughout your weight loss journey, because medication dosages may need to be changed or lowered. And in some cases, certain medications may be able to be discontinued as your metabolic health improves over time. So please make sure you are working closely with your doctor on this. Doing these things will help you do more than just lose weight. This is the path to a healthier metabolism, the path to a healthy toned look, and the path to maintaining your weight loss long term. So let's talk about which GLP-1 medication I chose and why. There are two main GLP-1 medications on the market right now, semaglutide and tirzepatide. Semaglutide signals to your brain that it's full, cuts cravings, delays gastric emptying, and helps your body make more insulin to stabilize blood sugar. I decided to go with tirzepatide because it has all the same benefits of semaglutide, but it has an additional action on something called GIP, or gastric inhibitory polypeptide, that helps maximize mitochondrial function, improves glycemic control, and reduces appetite. Because of this additional action, tirzepatide has also been shown to have better weight loss results with less side effects compared to semaglutide. The tirzepatide my naturopath prescribed is compounded with niacinamide, which is a form of vitamin B3 that is known to help increase insulin production, decrease glucose production. It also helps decrease inflammation, boost metabolism, and burn fat. So it's a great complement to the tirzepatide. The main drawback is that tirzepatide is a little more expensive, but I felt the added benefits of tirzepatide with the niacinamide were well worth it to me. Now, I've had a negative reaction to niacin before, which is a different form of niacinamide, but I was still a little hesitant to purchase a full vial of tirzepatide, only to find out I couldn't take it due to a negative reaction. So my naturopath agreed to give me my first injection in the clinic as a test to make sure I tolerated the medication before ordering the full vial. Thankfully, I didn't have a reaction to the niacinamide, so I went ahead and ordered the full vial. Okay, so let's talk about the costs. To start with, I had my regular office visit with my naturopath, which was $80, and a one-time $20 charge for that test injection at the clinic, which was 10 units of the tirzepatide with the niacinamide. The full vial of compounded tirzepatide was $395, which has 200 units of medication that should last me about 8 to 10 weeks, just depending on how quickly the medication is titrated up based on my progress and any side effects. I will also be following up with my naturopath monthly so she can closely monitor my progress. So there will be a monthly office visit charge of $80. She will also be available by phone or email in between the monthly office visits to answer any questions I have. I will mention here that I have seen ads all over social media offering compounded tirzepatide for a lower cost, but I have not compared those offers. It could be a smaller vial of tirzepatide. I really don't know. Personally, I did not want to even entertain any of those offers because for me, it's not about the cost as much as it is about my health and working with my doctor, someone who I trust, someone who knows me. Now, while I didn't react to the niacinamide, I did have some minor side effects from that first injection that started about 2 hours after the injection. I developed a slight headache and had some intense belly bloating, but I knew I was a bit dehydrated that day and remembered that my naturopath said most minor side effects will resolve by simply drinking more water. So I drank a couple glasses of water and the headache and bloating completely resolved within 20 minutes, which I was extremely grateful for. Needless to say, I have been making every effort to stay well hydrated to help avoid any more side effects. But I'll let you know how things go after my next injection, which will be the first injection that I do by myself at home. Before I finish up here, I want to share my starting stats with you and let you know what I'll be tracking and sharing with you along the way. So first, I'll be keeping track of how many units of the tirzepatide I'm taking each week and how many units I have left in my vial. That way I know when it's time to request a refill because I don't want to miss any doses along the way. Obviously, I will be tracking my weight. I have a basic digital bathroom scale and will be weighing myself daily first thing in the morning, naked, after using the bathroom. I know some people can get discouraged with daily weigh-ins, especially if they see a slight uptick on the scale, but I am all in on this journey and I expect there will be some minor fluctuations, and I'm not really concerned about that because I know if my weight loss slows to less than 1 pound in any given week, I will be increasing my tirzepatide dosage to keep things moving in the right direction. And my starting weight was 173.4 pounds, which was actually the morning after my first injection. I will also be tracking my body composition. I'm very fortunate to have a body composition analyzer called the InBody 270, which measures weight, total body water, lean muscle, and body fat. It actually does a little more than that, and I'll share more about my InBody 270 and the results that I get from it in future videos. But the good news is my bathroom scale has been within about 0.2 to 0.4 pounds of my InBody so far. The bad news is that my starting body fat percentage was 46.2%. Yikes, ladies. 46% body fat is not good. But that is going to change, and I'm excited to take you on this journey with me. And one more little piece of data I'll share. My naturopath scale also gives an estimated metabolic age, and it gave me a metabolic age of 66. As I shared earlier, I am only 54, and I am not going to lie, that one hit a little hard. But at the same time, I love how it impressed upon me how important it is to maintain a healthy weight and a healthy body fat percentage. I think it will be fun actually to turn back the clock on my metabolic age, and who knows, maybe I'll even end up being younger than 54. We'll see. Okay, so weight and body composition. I'll also be tracking my body measurements with a tape measure. My plan is to do this monthly since there probably won't be too much of a change in my body measurements on a weekly basis with just a 1 to 2 pound weight loss. I didn't take my body measurements on day one. My day just got away from me. but I'll get to those this week, which will still give me a pretty good starting point to track my progress over time. And I'll update you with those at the end of week 1. I will also be tracking my hydration, protein intake, and pooping. I've been underperforming lately in the hydration area, and I'm working to increase my water intake. My target is to drink at least half of my body weight in ounces. So if we do the math on that, my starting weight was 173.4, which would be about 87 ounces of water per day. My naturopath gave me a target of 90 grams of protein per day as a starting point. Now, I may increase that a little more at some point, just depending on how my body composition is changing. Now, this one may seem like too much information, but I will be tracking how often I am pooping. One of the side effects of the GLP-1s is slowed gastric emptying, which can cause diarrhea or constipation. So my naturopath has set a target for me to poop at least once a day. Before starting GLP-1, I was pooping at least once a day, but that hasn't always been the case for me. Constipation has been an issue for me in the past, so I'll be watching this closely. And if needed, I'll start taking a magnesium citrate supplement, which has worked really well for me before. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found my journey about getting started with GLP-1 and some of the other insights I've shared helpful. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more about menopause management, weight loss tips, and my ongoing experience with GLP-1, plus some other health and wellness tips, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, I invite you to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you in the next video where I'll be giving myself my first solo injection. So we'll see how that goes. I'll also be sharing my starting body measurements, my blood work results, and the results from my first week on the GLP-1 medication Tirzepatide.